What's up, my friends? This is John Berruti from Berruti Success. Today's episode is going to be about, are you prepared? No, you're not. You're not. You know why I know you're not prepared? Because I'm not prepared. And I'm a pretty prepared guy. All right, so this episode is going to talk about preparedness for our future. And also I'm going to give you a little update on my cancer situation. That's not fun. Stay tuned. First and foremost, subscribe and hit the little bell, the ding, 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 ding. And the reason being is because when you hit the bell, that notifies you when I send out these terrific, very informative videos, okay? So do me the favor, subscribe if you haven't, and I know you haven't because I got like 20 subscribers. I'd really like 30 by the next episode, at least, maybe 40. I'm being real adventurous. So subscribe and hit the bell, first thing. Second, cancer situation. Okay, so I had my first MRI after my 4th round of chemo bag. Yeah, that sucks. My first MRI after my 4th round of chemo. So MRI comes back, and the cancer is not growing anymore, which is terrific. Wife not so happy because my wife wanted it to be decreasing. I'm gonna give you a little history of it, so you know why I'm so happy that it's not growing anymore. January, I was going to the gym a lot, and my back was hurting when I was doing sit-ups. And every time I went to go to the bathroom, I felt a bump. Went to the doctor told me it was a pilonoleual cyst. He treated a pilonoleual cyst. It kept growing and growing. So he sent me for my first MRI. That wasn't good. Or was it an MRI? Yeah, it was an MRI. That didn't come back good. You got to go to Sloan. That's what I was told. Went to Sloan. They're poking me, prodding me, doing things to me. And they couldn't figure it out. They're like, man, it doesn't present like a cancer. We did these tests, these needle things, not come back cancerous. We don't think it's cancer. Well, meanwhile, it's growing like a weed. Growing like a weed. I get this big thing on my back. And I'm like, this isn't good. So they're like, listen, you got to go to New York because that's where our best doctors in the world are, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I can't go to New York. My insurance doesn't cover New York. They're like, if it's an emergency, you can go to New York. Long story short, maybe a week after that conversation, my back burst. Yeah, that wasn't fun. So my buttocks, left cheek, yeah, it kind of burst. So that's how fast it was growing. Go to the bathroom. I didn't feel this because it's numb back there, so nobody feel bad for me. I didn't feel it. So go to the bathroom, and I got all this mucus and blood in my underwear. Call my doctor. I'm like, yeah, I got mucus and blood in my underwear. He's like, yeah, that's not good. You gotta come to New York. It's an emergency. So I get in my car. I drive. Well, first I go to the mirror, patch myself up. I gotta patch myself up. I drive to New York. Don't drive to New York in rush hour on the BQE if you need to go to the hospital without big red lights on your car. Nobody cares. It took me a long time, regardless. Get to the hospital, they do the operation, they finally can see what it is. Yeah, cancer, not so good. So the reason I'm so happy that the cancer stopped growing is because it was growing super fast, right? It was growing really, really fast. And when Sloan tells you, yeah, we know what you have, but we've never seen it like this before. Really? Really, Sloan? Telling me? Not? Okay, regardless. So, MRI comes back, not growing anymore. I'm a happy camper, no matter what anybody says, okay? I was hoping it would shrink, didn't shrink, but, I got a lot of treatments left and I got a lot of stuff going on, so it's gonna be better. So, that's the cancer stuff. Moving on to the episode. So, because all this is going on with me, I had said, I didn't say, me and my wife are planning, as you can imagine, right? I planned my whole life, sometimes better than most. 10 years ago, me and my wife did our wills, trust accounts, blah, blah, blah. We had a lot of stuff going on. Brielle was free at the time, so we went and got our wills. Fast forward, 10 years later, we have to obviously go over everything. So that's why I'm making the video. So the first thing on the list, because there's a list, get your paper out, you need this. The first thing is, of course, health insurance, okay? We don't all have it. I pray that you do. We don't all have it. Some of us are younger. If you're watching this and you don't think you need it, yeah, you kind of need it, all right? If you're younger, you need what's called catastrophic life health insurance. I'm gonna link all this stuff up in the comments. So I'm gonna link up the New Jersey portal to Obamacare. I am on Obamacare, and the reason being is because years ago I couldn't afford my company couldn't afford life insurance anymore for my employees. So I stopped it, and because of that, I didn't have a group anymore. So I had to go on Obamacare. Yeah, wasn't loving it. It was a nightmare. I am super, as you can imagine, happy I have insurance now. As I told you before, my insurance, not so great. It doesn't cover New York, which sucks because the main hub for Sloan is in New York. But we're figuring that out. They have a great place. They have a couple places in New Jersey, but regardless, make sure you have health insurance, right? Go to the link, figure it out. Even if you can't afford it, get a catastrophic life insurance. And what that means, basically, health insurance, I apologize, life insurance is back. What that means is, if you can't afford it, catastrophic health insurance is a cheaper per month. And depending on your age, health, all that stuff, it's fairly cheap. What it means is that if something happens, listen, you can't just go to the doctor, oh, I got sniffles. It's not for that. It's for what I'm going through. It's for, catastrophic situations. And the reason you need it is, listen, what I'm going through is going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, right? So my insurance obviously is going to cover that. I don't have catastrophic, I have better than that. But if I had catastrophic, I would be on the hook for maybe $10 or $20 or $30,000, right? And you're saying, that's a lot of money, John. Yeah, it's a lot of money. But $500,000 is way more. $500,000 makes you go bankrupt. $1 million makes you go out of your mind, right? So you can figure out how to pay $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 in a catastrophic program. You can't figure out $500,000 or $1 million. And there are programs to help you. You're gonna go bankrupt, period. So again, make sure you have your health insurance, okay? That's super important. Again, links are down below. Number 2 is life insurance, which I was leading to before. Life insurance is super important, right? I sold life insurance 100 years ago. I didn't think it was bullcrap, but I knew you needed it. But back then I was like, oh, you gotta have term, you gotta have term. I've changed those views. There's term, UL, and whole life, the 3 major groups. And again, I'm gonna link up a whole bunch of stuff below, review sites for you guys to check out the insurance agencies themselves, web-based searches for life insurance that helps you figure out which one to buy. Those I'm going to prepare you for. Once you sign up for them, they get annoying. They do. I linked up what I think, I'm not sure the name. I'm not sure if I did Select Quote or which ones I did, but the ones that I'm linking up, me and my wife actually use. They are annoying, but that's a good thing because it keeps needling you in order to, hey, you need life insurance. This insurance company is going to call you. That one's going to call you. You need to have it. I, unfortunately, can't get any more life insurance, right? Because of my situation. I have life insurance, which is awesome. You can never have enough. I don't have enough, right? I have enough, but I don't have enough, right? You could always use more. That being said, that all goes into your budgeting. If you can afford it, so on and so forth, you need something, right? I think they say you should have at least 3 years of your salary. I have way more than that. Because of my assets and all the things that I own, it's important to have life insurance, okay? I might even have a special, one of these videos on life insurance, but not for now. For now, I just want you writing down these points and making sure you're taking care of them, okay? Number 3, nobody likes talking about it. Nobody wants to do it, but wills and living wills. We have them, we're updating them. I linked down below how you can do it online. You have to be careful. You can easily make a will online. You can handwrite a will. It has to be notarized. It has to be witnessed. It's important. So my suggestion is go to an attorney, right? That's my suggestion. That's not normally my suggestion, but in this instance, it's super important. I'm gonna link up the attorneys we're using. Her name is Margaret. She's out of, she works with the Giordano group that we work with up in Shrewsbury. I thought, it wasn't super cheap. It wasn't super expensive. She's charging us $2,600. Everybody's like, well, that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, right? But some people charge $5,000, $10,000. Some people charge a lot of money for this stuff. She's got a great group around her. And again, for what we have insurance trusts, we have multiple properties, businesses. It's a lot. So putting all that together, I thought $2,600 was pretty decent. And I'm going to link her link or her information down below. Okay. 4, and this one nobody really thinks about: securing your digital footprint. Right? I don't know about you, but I have hundreds of sites, portals and stuff that I have passwords for. Passwords, what's your mother's maiden name, what give us this information, that information. I particularly saved all that on an Excel spreadsheet. I encrypted that Excel spreadsheet because you can, if you're using Excel, I think the Mac also has a version, you can encrypt it, you can password protect it, and I did do that. And basically what I did is, on the left-hand side, I put all the, what is it? Let's say it's, we use Capital One 360 for our savings accounts because they have the best savings rate right now. It says Capital One 360, gives me the link. The next thing it says is my username. The next thing it says is my password. The next column, it gives you all those things. Tell us, what's your favorite ice cream? What was your 3rd grade teacher's name? What are these questions? They drive you nuts. Regardless, listed it. It's all on one line for that information. And then again, there's hundreds of them. I encrypt it. My wife, even though she says she doesn't, but she does, I have it written down for her, has the password. She knows how to get in. She says she doesn't, she does. I love her to death. How to get into it, right? These instructions should be written down and given to your significant other. They should also be in a safe somewhere, right? They should also possibly be given to a third party. My sister knows the information also, God forbid something happens. So those 2 people, in addition to the safe, has that information. It's super important, guys. And the reason being, God forbid something happens to you. My dad passed away at 49. I don't need to tell you that again, but 49. We were screwed, okay? Information, I didn't know it all. We worked together, but I didn't know it all. Passwords are important. Your banking information, your savings information, all these things, your Amazon account, all these things are important. All the information is important. You don't want to just have this laying around willy-nilly. You don't want to have a big long list on a piece of paper that everybody can see. That's why I created an Excel spreadsheet. I'm a geek, sorry. Encrypted it and then gave it to my significant other and a third party, which is my sister. Super important stuff, okay? Number 5. This one, again, we all know what's going on with me, kind of sucks. This one I Googled, and it's okaytodie.com. Morbid, sorry. Good information, good site. I listed their list, their checklist. Are you ready to die? Now listen, if you're 18, 19, you're like, what are you talking about? Even if you're 30 or 40 or 50, you're like, what are you talking about, John? I'm not dying. Yeah. We all gonna die. It's unfortunate, it's true. Planning for it helps the people you're leaving. I've done, in the past 15 years, I've settled probably 5 or 6 estates for close family and friends, okay? I know what to do for planning. When you go through that many, you kind of get the idea what to do. Not everybody does that, right? Most people are blown away when somebody passes away on what they have to do. This list is awesome, right? It's extensive. You don't have to use it all. You need to look at it. You need to go to the site. Again, I'm going to link it up below. Go to the site, read it. It also talks about the things I'm talking about, life insurance, health insurance, all these things. It's important, okay? So this video specifically was, are you prepared? Have you been planning, right? You know what's going on with me. I've planned. I'm still not ready. Right? So you need to start getting ready. Just 1 or 2 things. The other thing, I'm going to preach it every time I do a video, every time. Did you set up a savings account that sucks money out of your account every week and puts it aside where you don't see it? This is the key to becoming a millionaire, period, the end, right? People wonder, well, how did you get to where you are? Well, the one main reason, there's many, the one main reason, for a long time, I bought my first ATC, and I know most of you don't know what it is. It would be considered a quad now. I think I was 13. For money I saved. Yeah, my money I saved. I bought a $1,000 yellow 3-wheeler. I'm gonna put a picture of it. ATC, my money. The only way I did that is because I saved. I'm teaching my kids to save. It's a big reason why I have all of this, right? So you need to do that. You need to save. You need to take go to Ally. I preach it. They just lowered the interest rate, which pisses me off. So I'm going to start shopping. I'm going to let you know. But Ally was 2%. Now it's 1.8. Pisses me off, but regardless. Set up an Ally account, or an account, search it. Which is the best interest rate online? They'll tell you, right? Set that up. Have it electronically take money out of your account every week. I'm not going to tell you to not drink coffee. Well, I have in the past, but regardless, you need to save the money, because when you do, when you take 20 or 40 or ideally 50 or $100 out of your account every week, you don't notice it. Yes, I get it. You'll notice it for a little while. It will hurt. Yeah, so what? So what? It hurts. As soon as you start putting that away, a month, 10 months, 15 months, you won't notice it. And what you will notice is when those statements come in, oh, I have $1,000 over here. I have $5,000 over here. I have $20,000 over here. And then I'll explain to you what to do with it, okay? We're gonna do things like, yeah, we're gonna invest in the stock market. Not right now. Stock market's poopy, right? But do your own loans. You buy a car, right? Yeah, you give that money to a bank. You know how long I've been paying myself for buying my own cars? First of all, I don't buy new cars. I don't. I have a $40,000 Audi. I have, well, my old car that I drive. I don't pay for those cars by loans. I take the money out of my account and I pay myself back through my company. Again, we're going to go through all these things. These are important things. So I take the deduction from my company. I take the interest personally, and the bank doesn't get squat. I get the money. That $40,000 car is $50,000 in savings. Wow, how'd that happen? You don't have to have a $40,000 car. You can have a $3,000 car or a $5,000 car. You can take your money that you saved, because I told you how to, right? You take that, you make yourself a loan, you go and buy the car, and you pay yourself every month with a check, just like you would do in if you had a lease or a buy, right? You increase your automatic savings from the $50 a week to whatever the payment should be, $200 a month, or you're going to add another $50 a week that's pulling out of your account because you don't want to write the check because you're not going to do it. You automatically set that up, it gets sucked back into your savings. And amazingly, in 2 years, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever you set that payment up for, you're going to have your $3,000 and the interest, $1,000, $500, whatever the interest is, right? And you could charge yourself more interest. You don't have to do 3% or 5%. You could do 6 or 8 or 10%. It's legal. You can do that, right? So again, this is running late. I'm sorry. I want these things to be less, and there's so much information. But it's important, and I hope you get some value out of it. And listen to me. If you have questions, ask them. Please subscribe, because I want to get the love, right? Subscribe, hit the bell, and if you have any questions, put them down below. Until the next time, I'll see you later.